Today is October 3rd, 2022, and I feel like I've finally put my thumb, I finally feel like I put a thumb into the reality of day trading, and reality of day trading is essentially letting go of what I believe and accepting the data and believing in the data. That is the critical ingredient. That is I've said this many times. I thought, that's it. That's the market. That's the market. The reality is, day trading has taught me something about the human nature, God, and everyday existence. They may overlap and do things. What has profoundly changed the landscape of my person is accepting the data that is before me and placing my thoughts, internal thoughts. And in most cases, the internal thoughts that I generate, such as if I see a stock trend and after I get into it, there's an emotional trigger that occurs that creates a blindfolding type of a nature where my internal self-preservation and self-emotion and everything comes in to blur the vision of what the reality is. And the reiteration of the data that is before me and focusing on the data and making the right decision based on the data is critical in day trading. As the data is a predictor of the movements in the stocks and where the stocks will move. And as long as I stay out of the stock path and then observe and become purely an observer, aside from influencing my thoughts and thesis into the direction that the market is going, as long as I keep that in mind and keep that in a long-term basis and remind myself each and every day, the trend that is established by the market, I can clearly and visually see based on the data that is represented before my eyes. When that happens, I'm able to maneuver in. And if should the market turn around and reverses in the other direction, I am able to step aside and make room, or even flip my thesis and take the sides of where the new trend has begun. So in reality, what has taught me is that when I'm with someone, such as the market says something, and I listen. And I listen and make the determination of what the market is telling me. And what is the possibility of the market telling me? Fundamentally speaking, at the core of day trading is so integrated into my whole existence. The existence that I have is such as reading a Bible and leaving out my interpretation of what the Bible is telling me, and exactly accepting the message that is embedded into the the Bible. Once that is achieved, I waste little time in understanding it, and I waste little of my resources to creating a fantasy world of the interpretations I believe it could possibly occur, and purely accept on the belief of the message that is being displayed, either in data form in day trading or anything in life. In day trading, the fundamental and the critical ingredient of day trading is accepting the existence of something other. When I believe that the earth is the center of the universe, and I being the earth, that is a singularly one single-sided view of the world, and seeking out and understanding the external beliefs and the data and the foundations are very difficult to achieve. However, as long as I know there is a greater power that is beyond me, that keeps me into a uniquely identifiable, independent human being, aside from what exists on the outer world. And the outer world influences on the behavior and the patterns that I need to generate in order to flow within the ebbs of life. There's a saying called up the creek without a paddle. It's essentially saying the data is showing that the water is flowing against my thesis. And when I attempted to paddle against, it's like grabbing a hold of a falling knife. And what happens? I exhaust my mental capital and financial capital and fall right down into the drain, into the ocean where the blow up occurs. The interesting reality is the flow and the ebb of nature. And based on that particular scenario, and putting aside my own self-interest to look into the data, provides me the best opportunity to make capital gains in the stock market. I believe it.